Hey everyone, it's Tuesday, March 2nd. The time is 12:13 p.m. and the temperature right now is minus 6 degrees Celsius. I'm at the intersection of Gerrard Street East and Broadview Avenue. And that's a look southbound Broadview. And this is the East Chinatown neighborhood in Riverdale. And the plan for this one is to walk east along Gerrard Street here. And then when I get to Pape Avenue, I'll turn north. And I'll cross over a rather interesting pedestrian bridge that offers up a pretty good view of the skyline. And then I'll continue on north up Pape Avenue to Pape Station. And along the way, I'll pass by a mansion that was featured in the 2017 Stephen King movie, It. And East Chinatown never really seems to be that busy. Doesn't seem to matter when I come here. This is one of two Chinatowns in the city of Toronto proper itself. The main one being, of course, at the intersection of Dundas and Spadina, and the area that surrounds that intersection. There's the 506 Carlton, normally a streetcar, but they're currently running buses along the line. Even though it's minus 6, it's not a very windy day, so it doesn't really feel all that cold. We do have a nice blue sky. So I am on the north side of Gerrard Street. And this is east of the Don River and east of downtown. And there's Eastdale Collegiate Institute. And once I'm over the pedestrian bridge on Pape Avenue, I'll be going by one of the highest rated schools in the city of Toronto. And I think this is Degrassi Street. I'm just trying to get visual confirmation of a street sign, but there doesn't seem to be any. I'm pretty sure that's it. That's where the Kids of Degrassi TV show is based on. I recorded a walk up there not too long ago. Most of the properties along this part of Gerrard are quite old. There's a Champions off-track betting. So if I were to continue on heading east along Gerrard, I would eventually get to the Little India neighborhood. And Gerrard Street briefly stops at Coxwell. And then it resumes itself just to the north of there on a stretch known as Upper Gerrard. I don't think this will be a particularly long walk. I didn't really map how long it would take. Usually I'm a good 10 to 20% quicker than what Google Maps estimates the walk would take. And this is pretty much the end of East Chinatown once I get to Logan. There's also another stretch of retail that runs south of Gerrard, and that is on Broadview Avenue. And this Chinatown sprung up in the early 70s. And that was not too long after the main Chinatown was moved westwards from where it originally was around Bay and Dundas. Let's look back to the west towards downtown. And here's a new development going in. Wow, that person must have had a tough time navigating that on that mobility device. There's a lot of short 90-degree turns they would have had to have made. There's the law office of JYN Lee and architect David Young. I'm not sure that's a particularly good showcase for an architect. New glamour hair design. There's certainly a lot of places where you can get a cheap haircut in East Chinatown, and the main Chinatown for that matter. In fact, the last time I got a haircut, it was in East Chinatown. These are some old workers' cottage style homes. They're a bit bigger, but it's the same general styling. And this is Carlaw Avenue. And once I cross over to the other side of the rail tracks, I'll be in Leslieville. the Gerrard Carlisle Parquet across the street. And that guy's walking a lot of dogs. And here's the real jerk. I've heard a lot of good things about this place, but I've never actually been. I did a walk down Carlisle about 3 weeks ago. I started at Danforth Avenue and I went south down to Queen Street. And just up here on the left is a shopping center known as Gerrard Square. And it might be the closest Walmart you'll find to downtown. There's another one at Dufferin Mall. I don't know which one is closer, but there's no Walmart within downtown.
It wasn't.
But I'll be turning left onto Pape just before we get to Gerrard Square.
It's only Regent Park.
And there's the Mary Eckler Community Recreation Center across the street. And there's the pedestrian bridge. I don't know why I almost said it that way. The colder weather does tend to cause me to have a bit more difficulty than usual pronouncing certain things. I don't really know why that is. But we'll take a look towards Gerrard Square, which will be for the most part closed, as retailers are still operating on a curbside pickup basis only, unless they're deemed essential, which for some reason Walmart is. Well, that's because they can sell groceries, but they're still allowed to sell everything else. There's the Food Basics, which is a discount food chain. And just across the street is No Frills, which is another discount food chain. And here is where Gerrard comes to, or Pape comes to a brief end and is open only to pedestrian traffic. So we're just crossing over that railway I just walked under. And it is a nice clear day, so we we should get a pretty neat look at the skyline. There's a look towards the shopping center. And back towards Gerrard. And there's the highlight itself. That would be the financial district. Off in the distance there. And straight ahead would be the Aura building, which is at Yonge and Gerrard. There goes a GO train. And I think this is the Stouffville line. So that would be coming from Danforth GO station. It's kind of hard to slide my camera through the chain link fence on that side. But there's a look back at the city. And there should be one fairly clear vantage point right here. And that is Yorkville, straight ahead. And this is pretty cool. This apartment building connects right to this walkway here. And there's somebody kind of lurking in the doorway there. I wonder if they saw me filming them. That just looked a little suspicious. And even in a pandemic, people still don't stick to the right side when they walk. I'll never understand that. So here's where Pape resumes. And this will go north all the way just past O'Connor Drive. And it'll be a mix of mostly residential with some commercial developments along the way. There's a look back at the bridge, and it looks like you can shortcut over to the No Frills right here. And just on the left here is Pape Avenue Junior Public School. And I think it was rated one of, if not, I think the second highest performing public school in the city, at least in terms of test scores. So malls are closed. I can't get a haircut or have a drink outside on a patio, but school is in full session. And coming up just ahead is the Cranfield House. That is the mansion which was used in the filming of the 2017 movie It. Although I think the exterior is actually a temporary structure that was located in Oshawa, which is a suburb to the east of here. Thank you. And here's a look at the Cranfield House, which is currently undergoing a very extensive renovation. And the address for this is 450 Pape. And it looks like this is new. That's been tacked on to the end there. I think since 2015, it's been featured in over 11 different productions. It was built in 1902. And I think they call this Edwardian style. And it's currently being renovated into a women's shelter. It was previously a Salvation Army, I think from 1930 to 2005, and then it sat empty for quite a while, and it was kind of run down. I think this is a $12 million renovation it's undergoing. And a lot of residents have complained about the increased film production activity in the area. And off the top of my head, I think it was featured in Orphan Black and Designated Survivor. I think those are TV shows. And a movie, Fahrenheit 451. And apparently it's 25,000 square feet, although I'm not sure if that includes the new addition or not. So I will definitely come back and take a look once those renovations are complete. I guess it'll no longer have that creepy mansion vibe to it. And I know this area has attracted a number of people wandering around just to come see that property. There's a retail store, I don't know what it is, but no more lockdowns is on the sign. I think I read that Toronto is on the brink of being the city with the longest continuous lockdown in the world. Although I'm not really sure you'd call it a lockdown. They've certainly locked it down enough to kind of choke a lot of these local businesses to death. And across the street there is Atomic Age Comics, and they are open, I would imagine, for curbside pickup only. That's a popular spot in this area, and it seems to be one of the only retail shops that's open. I'll have to come take a look on Google Maps and see if a lot of these storefronts were operating a year or two ago. On Google Maps, you can turn back time and take a look at previous street views. I think going as far back as 2007. Dingwall Avenue, I like the name of this street. Pape and Dingwall Books. I was just hearing from a friend whose wife works at a used book retailer, and they're considering consolidating their locations, which would put her out of work. They've hung on for as long as they can, and they just don't seem to have anything left. And that sort of speaks to the inadequate government programs in place. Because prior to the pandemic, the store was doing a rather healthy business. And we are approaching Danforth Avenue, which will be in Greektown. I'm just going to keep heading north on Pape into the station, and I'll keep the camera running when I head down to the platform. It's a colorful Canada Post truck. So once I crossed that bridge and got off on the north side, I re-entered the Riverdale neighborhood. There's the 72 Pape bus. That's the 72A, so that is going to Eastern Avenue. And either later today or later this week, I'll be hopping on the 72B, which will take me down to Gerrard Street. John's Video. There's no way this place is still operating as a video store. And it looks like it's from a time when you didn't have to put 416 in your phone number. Mass DVD, VHS, CD duplication, overseas video conversions. So it still seems to be a storefront. I guess it's not a traditional VHS rental shop, which I originally thought it was. Those places all died out a long time ago. Here's an old church, which I think goes back to 1921 and has since been converted into lofts. It looks like this end is still operating as the Riverdale Presbyterian Church. And you can see the balconies and residential units. On the south end of the property. Maybe it was two separate structures. I really don't know. I was waiting to see what that pigeon would do. So here is Pape and Danforth. There's the former Nando's Chicken location. And a look to the west. There's some knucklehead drivers who decided to enter an intersection before they knew they could clear it. So to the north of here is Pape Village, which is an interesting retail area. But I'll be heading into Pape Station right here at Lipton Avenue. There's also an eastern entrance, which is just off to the right here. All right, I have to slide my mask on now. Then we'll head on down to the subway, and I'll be taking the westbound train to Bloor-Yonge Station. Sorry for the less than stellar camera work. Not that it was ever stellar to begin with while I put the mask on. There we go. Good enough. All right, let's go into the station. So I do want to head towards the eastern end of the platform. Oh, I am a dummy. I just went the wrong way. I was not paying attention to the signs. I meant to turn right there and head down to the westbound platform, and it sounds like there's a train that just rolled in that I missed. That wrong turn probably cost me 5 minutes off my day. Yep. That's weird. That thing said it's 1 degree Celsius. But my phone is showing -6. Let me ask Google, what is the temperature right now?
In Toronto, it's -5 degrees and mostly cloudy. Today, it'll be partly cloudy, with a forecasted high of 1 and a low of -5.
Okay, so at least I didn't lie on the intro of the video, but it looks like it's going to take a few minutes for the train to roll in, so thanks for watching. If you wish to support the channel, there are links to my Patreon in the description, as well as my Instagram, and you can check out channel memberships on the main page. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one.